Hello everybody, my name is Michelle. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is my roommate Sabrina, and today we are filming the books that we will be reading together in 2021.
Can we redo that? I don't like the almost good thing.
I look really pale too. I mean, I know that I am, but...
It's COVID, everyone's pale.
No, I'm white.
But I like being cloaked in an era of darkness. And you're a Ravenclaw.
I'm not a Ravenclaw.
Yes, you are.
Why is my head cut off?
Yeah.
So, we've been friends for like 10 and a half years.
That makes us sound really old.
Our friend group read books together in high school, but I feel like that was just because all young adults read the same books. And I mean, you know what I'm talking about, like Twilight and Hunger Games.
Fuck yeah, Twilight.
And we obviously went to the movie premieres together.
Obviously, one of them was my birthday party.
The Fault in Our Stars.
Yes.
And one of our friends got her a pack of cigarettes for her birthday, and in front of her parents.
I was my 18th birthday, to be fair.
She takes it out and pulls an Augustus and is like, well, I'm not gonna light it.
I didn't have a lighter, and then my dad stole them out of my purse and threw them away.
So these are the books that we've been saying we were gonna read, but have not, and are definitely 100% getting to in 2021.
100%.
One of these books I've read already and she hasn't, and one of these books she's read already and I haven't. So I feel like that's good. We're on even ground.
Yes.
1 and 1. So now I feel like it might become like a little bit of a race. Like right now it's gonna be chill. We're both gonna be like, we'll just complete them by the end of 2021. But then once one of us finishes another book, the other one's gonna start to sweat a little bit.
I mean, maybe you're just describing your thought process, because I know if I get behind, I'm just gonna be like,
No, you can't do that.
Or I'm gonna like binge them in a week. It's gonna be like all or nothing. I don't know.
I don't like that.
I wanna read them steadily. You know, that's one of my goals, is to read more actual published books and not just random fan fiction.
So, okay, the first book, this one she's read and I haven't, is Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. This we agreed to read before the movie came out.
The movie that you have on DVD right now?
That I got for Christmas.
Yeah.
With Michelle May. We both started it and we were both kind of really struggling. We were even, I think it came on December and it was the summer before.
Yeah.
And I remember us sitting at a downtown coffee shop and I like read the first 4 pages aloud because we were having a really hard time. I never got past that. She listened to it all on audiobook in like 2 days.
Yeah.
So then I felt terrible, and here we are over a year later. So Little Women is the first one.
Yes. The next one is Dune. So this book also has a movie with Timothée Chalamet in it, and we plan on reading it prior to the movie release. And since they just pushed back the movie, I feel like we really have no excuse now not to finish this one before. But we only have one copy in the apartment.
And it's hers.
It is my copy.
And I did steal it.
She did. It was in her room for a very long time.
And she did steal it back.
And she still hasn't read it. And I haven't read it. Neither of us have read it, but we're going to.
Okay, but I read other books.
I read a lot of fan fiction. And...
I was gonna say that's the most recent addition to the list, but that's a lie. This, Lolita, I know you can't tell from the cover, is the most recent addition to the list because she's been listening to a podcast.
It's really good. Lolita podcast, highly recommended, which is about the cultural and social and media interpretations of this book, which is not a happy book, or not a sexy book either, but people interpret in a myriad of interesting ways. Mostly men.
And then she started listening to the podcast and she was like, I want to talk to you about the podcast. And I was like, well, I want to read the book first. So now this is on our list as of today.
Literally today we had this conversation.
So we're not behind on this book. We're exactly on time on this book.
We literally haven't had time to start reading that book, so it's not even...
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's the third one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go ahead.
Then we've got The Great Believers by a Chicago author, which is pretty cool. We actually met this author at a book tour for Andre Osman's sequel to Call Me By Your Name.
Yeah.
Find Me? What is it?
Yeah,
called?
Find Me. This was November of 2019. So even this in my brain lives as like a recent addition to the list. But it's not. So we both bought this. We'd never heard of her. And then she did the intro and the interview with Andre Osmond, and we were like, she is so cool.
Yeah.
And she pitched
so
the book
cool.
really well.
Yeah.
So we both went and bought it and met her, and she signed it. So, so we have to read that.
Yeah.
So that's the 4th book. The 5th book that we have is Normal People by Sally Rooney. And this is the book that I've read and she hasn't.
No.
And we added this to the list because
With
of the
the show.
Hulu show. So this is actually not that old. Maybe 6 months.
Yeah. I think it was that right when you moved in?
Probably.
I think that was probably around.
So, and I read it pretty quickly. I think I had already heard good things about this book. And, I had gotten it recommended to me on Twitter because I want to say it's Random House does this thing where you can ask for recommendations for like a half hour on certain days. And I said, if I loved Call Me By Your Name, give me a book. And they gave me this. And I think it was a really good recommendation. I can totally see how they relate writing style wise. And then the show came out and I was like, oh, well, I know I definitely have to get to it. And she was like, well, I want to watch the show. And I was like, well, then you should read the book.
Yeah.
And the last book that we have is I Capture the Castle by Dottie Smith. This one is, I think, the oldest one on the list.
Oh, it's been on there for
Not the oldest book, but
the oldest.
what we've agreed to read the longest time ago.
I think I bought that book in college and I still haven't read it.
I want to say, the thing is, I have no idea how I acquired this book. But, so she lived here for a year before I moved in with someone
Yes.
else, and I came and visited her a couple of times.
Mhm.
And I know that I saw it on her shelf, and I was like, oh, I have that, we should buddy read it. And since I've now lived here for almost 6 months, it would have had to have, and then COVID was like 6 months before that, it has to have been like a year and a half at least.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Which doesn't sound like that long ago.
I mean, honestly, I think we've just been really hesitant to add more books because we
We know
not
that we're
finishing
failures.
books.
I know. I know.
I mean, it's a
pretty
problem.
Yeah. So that is the 6 books that we have on our list, which is kind of, it feels like a lot.
It's a little a lot.
It feels like a lot.
But, it's fine. I read more than that in college, and I got through that fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I feel like it is fine. I'm trying to think of which one I want to read first.
Oh.
Dune is just, I started it. I got like 3 chapters in maybe.
Oh, shit, really?
It just requires you to pay attention because he makes up this entire world.
Yeah.
And just throws you in, which is awesome. I in certain sci-fis, there's nothing else you can really do, but it requires more from you because the rules of the world are entirely different, and there's like sort of special abilities and whatnot. So I don't think I'm going to tackle that next.
I think, let me just look at what we've got here. Back the book up. Yes.
One of these two is going to be the one I read first.
Okay, you should read Little Women because I want to read Lolita.
No.
So you want to read Lolita?
No, I don't know. So I feel like I've been gearing up to read Little Women. So soon I will actually read Little Women.
So then you're saying you're going to read Little Women?
Yeah, probably. Okay. But then I just told you this morning that I could probably start this.
True.
Listen, you know what? You know where it is on my shelf over there.
Dude, I will start reading it today.
That's the thing. If you don't, it's up for grabs.
I think that's valid. I think that's a fair trade.
Okay. If okay. Otherwise, are you reading this one? Normal People? Or no?
Yeah. It'd probably be Normal People or Lolita.
Which is so funny because that's none of the ones that have been on our list the longest.
No. But you know what? I'd rather get ahead of the books that we haven't had time to, hate ourselves for not reading.
Sure.
They don't have those negative connotations of procrastination.
Yeah. So, okay. We are giving ourselves all year to do this. I will probably vlog a little bit while I'm reading them. If I ever catch her reading one, I'll just shove a camera in her face. We'll be back whenever we're back. Okay, bye!